Hello everyone and welcome to TitansRX presented by Papyrus Converse. It's round 3 and we are in Lydden Hill, the home of the UK Rallycross. In case you missed it earlier, let's take a quick look at what went on in Q1, 2 and 3.
The qualifying sessions so far at Lydden Hill have been a mixed affair. This was Q1, the first qualifying session of the day. Timmy Hansen getting a textbook start, followed by Shushu and then Topi Heikkinen. Heikkinen, though, wasn't settling for third position and soon trying to find his way past the Hungarian driver, which was an absolutely brilliant scrap in the opening race of the day. He eventually found his way past up the inside on the damp track at the Devil's Elbow. Shushu, though, tried to find his way back past. Those two ended up dueling for a little bit of time, and then Ronnie Searock tried to get himself involved in the action. However, it wasn't to be. Then we saw a fast-starting Perry McCarthy holding the lead almost down towards the first corner before he was quickly bettered by Nelson Piquet. Then the number 74 of Jerome Grosjean on the attack against McCarthy as he slipped back through the field. Jerome Grosjean was looking very, very menacing indeed as Abby Eaton and Perry McCarthy went head-to-head with Nelson Piquet taking an easy victory in Q1. Then we saw a jump start from Oliver Webb, his first ever World Rallycross, European Rallycross race, I should say rather, not going too well as he ended up having to take a penalty lap. Then it was Kevin Hansen who got the early advantage ahead of Andrew Jordan, making his TitansRX debut here this weekend. It was a very close fought battle between Hansen and the number 22 of Andrew Jordan, and then we saw Oliver Webb getting himself up the inside. That was of Andreas Steffen finding his way past. Into Q2, it was a very fast starting Perry McCarthy once again, and this time he managed to hold the lead into the first corner, but not for too long as Ronnie Searock managed to find his way past as well. Then McCarthy sadly slipped back through the field as Abby Eaton got past, closely followed by Andreas Steffen. A mistake from McCarthy, seeing him taking an off-track excursion as well. Then Ronnie Searock was out in front in the lead of the race, taking a commanding victory in Q2. The second race of Q2 saw a very equal start for Shushu and Tamara Molinaro as she then slipped back through the field following some dramas in the opening lap. Shushu then led the way as Topi Heikkinen ascended through the field, the Finnish driver trying to find his way past the Hungarians as they had a fantastic duel out there on track, including a bit of contact going down into the bottom bend onto the gravel. Heikkinen muscled his way past through on the gravel, got his way through into the race lead. Then Shushu came under threat from Ollie Webb. Aside from Webb, and he had a bit of drama on that final lap, which sadly put him out of contention. Then we saw Jerome Grosjean getting all out of shape at the first corner following a bit of contact. Nelson Piquet, meanwhile, was looking the class of the field as Timmy Hansen ended up in the barrier at the bottom of the circuit. Jerome Grosjean tried to find his way through, went full send on Andrew Jordan, but couldn't quite find his way past as Timmy Hansen took a very, very well-deserved second place with Nelson Piquet Jr. there taking the race victory. Then we saw Q3 with Andreas Steffen doing some good things out there on track with Oliver Webb also looking pretty racy as well. Those two dueling side by side and making contact on more than one occasion, with Shushu leading the way quite commandingly over the rest of the field. It was Shushu versus Oliver Webb. And then you saw Perry McCarthy having an off-track excursion, ending his day, sadly, very, very early indeed. The next race saw Dan Rook making a very fast start as Abby Eaton had to take the penalty lap following a jump start in the early stages of that one. Then it was Dan Rook versus the yellow machine of Kevin Hansen. Those two dueling for position. Kevin Hansen eventually managing to find his way past as they fought for position down the inside into the right-hander. And then Ronnie Searock was looking pretty racy as well. However, Dan Rook had a spin that put him out of contention for the podium position as Kevin Hansen eventually came across the lane to take a very, very commanding victory indeed. There was a great race going on as well in the third race, and you can see Jerome Grosjean was handed a penalty following this incident, a bit of drama for the Frenchman as he came into contact with Andy Jordan. Meanwhile, Topi Heikkinen and Timmy Hansen duelled it out on track. This was hugely exciting. You can see Topi Heikkinen coming under all sorts of pressure from Timmy Hansen as they went side by side with one another. Very close racing it was out there on track. Hansen versus Heikkinen side by side once again. Hansen going on the outside line with Andy Jordan suffering a technical drama that we'll come to in just a few moments' time. But that was hugely, hugely exciting. TitansRX Europe, presented by Papyrus Converse, will hold 12 race days over the course of 6 double-header weekends in 6 different countries. A race winner is crowned at the end of each day, and a series winner at the end of the season. There will be 3 qualifying sessions, where the highest points are awarded for the final race position, as well as some extra points for the fastest overall time. This forces drivers to overtake if they want more points, and reduces the influence of track and weather conditions. As in classic rallycross, the top 12 drivers compete in the semi-finals, and the top 6 face off in the final. Qualifying sessions have 5 laps, semi-finals have 6 laps, and finals have 7 laps. The Joker lap now becomes a penalty lap, and screens on track will tell drivers if they need to take a penalty lap instead of a spotter. Combined with the one-designed Pantera RX6 supercar, these rules will push drivers to overtake, creating exciting racing for the fans on track and our live viewers on Eurosport. To learn more, check out our website at TitansRX.eu. And here is how the grid lines up in semi-final 2 here at Lydden Hill. So Topi Heikkinen on pole position. Alongside him is Kevin Hansen. Row 2 is Shushu and Jerome Grosjean on the outside. And then row 3 is Dan Rook, 2016 British Rallycross champion, and alongside him is Andreas Steffen, the lucky man. He managed to get bumped up into semi-final 2 following the engine failure of Andrew Jordan, putting him out of the weekend's action. So the marshals just sorting out exactly what is going to be happening here at TitansRX. Topi Heikkinen, I think, just getting his screen wiped down here, Harry, because again, it's another problem. It's just these missing screens they seem to be having.
Yeah, I must have it. I haven't found out if they have the blowers. Maybe they don't have a blowers.
I mean, who's your money on going into this one? I know obviously you're a Finn, you're going to be rooting for Topi, but
no, let's be fair. I mean, Kevin Hansen and they are on equal. They have equal arms, they have equal competence. So let's very soon find out. I would say that maybe the very first corner can be determining factor and decisive factor here. So if whoever comes out of the first corner, he has got a long way towards a victory. And but let's see now, we see the start.
Yeah, semi-final 2 ready to get underway here at TitansRX Europe. Great start there from Topi Heikkinen. Good start from Grosjean in off the second row of the grid, and also Dan Rook there as well, as he and Hansen go side by side with Grosjean in versus Hansen. Through the spray they go, try and pick a line, try and find your way through, but Heikkinen leads the way through turn number 1, followed by Kevin Hansen, followed by Grosjean in, followed by Dan Rook. Then comes Andreas Steffen by the looks of things there as well. And Steffen trying to find his way through up the inside into the left hand. Oh, and Steffen biffs it into the side of Grosjean in. Big drama there. Dan Rook has to take avoiding action. That is Shushu. Oh, sorry, it's Shushu, I apologise, who went into the side of Grosjean in. So it's Shushu who outbraked himself going into the devil's elbow. Not the first time we've seen that, and probably not the last here today.
No, Shushu, there he was too confident. I think a bit of an extra lap would do justice to him now. He really came far too fast.
Well, there you go. You can see a yellow flag being waved on your screen at the moment. If the red flag comes out, we will let you know as soon as we can, because it looks like Shushu's car is stricken in the middle of the circuit, so it's probably not going to be too much longer if that red flag does come out. Here is Topi Heikkinen, and indeed the red flag has come out then in semi-final 2. So once again, we don't even get a lap completed in the semi-finals before the red flag comes out.
Very eventful, too eventful.
Literally can't see anything out there, so I think even if we could see out the windscreen, this would still be on the edge of whether we should even race or not. But that combined with the fact that the fog in the car is just so bad, I was teetering on the edge of should we do the final or not. Obviously I'm happy I finished second in the semis, but if the Hansen brothers say we're not racing, then I think I should only take the experience from them that it's probably not safe to. It's literally kind of survival, and we're just tiptoeing around. And these cars shouldn't tiptoe, they should be, on the limit. So whether we wait and do the final tomorrow or whether they're going now, we'll see.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much, Ollie.
Oh, really good to hear there from Ollie Webb. So then, let's see what will happen. Dan Rook there, as the revs begin to rise. Semi-final 2, about to get underway here at Lydden Hill, and Jerome Grosjean is left standing at the start as Topi Heikkinen gets a really good getaway, as does Kevin Hansen. Down towards the first corner we go for the second time of asking in this rerun of semi-final 2, and Heikkinen takes it very gingerly through there. Everybody taking it very gingerly. Dan Rook up into third place. He's managed to take advantage as well from that third row of the grid, and he is on to the podium and currently into the grand final here this afternoon. But anything can change. It's 5 laps for these drivers to compete in torrential weather conditions at Lydden Hill, and it's anybody's guess as to what is going to happen. But the upshot is, of course, the man that started on pole position, Topi Heikkinen, in the number 57, your winner from round 1 in SA, is leading the way quite commandingly so far.
That is, he has already pulled up quite a bit of gap, which is actually surprising, because now the name of the game is not to make mistakes and not to leave a door open to anybody, but despite that he's looking for good time. I don't know.
Well, speaking of making mistakes there, Dan Rook actually as well, making a little bit of a slip and a slide through that bottom bend, managed to gather it all up again and keep himself out of trouble, and I think that's the name of the game here, keep yourself out of trouble, and
exactly.
It will come to you, won't it?
Yeah, no, not to make a mistake, particularly in Topi's case. Now he's leading, and anyway he mustn't donate his place now to the second guy, which is now Kevin Hansen behind him, so he wants to be safe, and he seems to be very clean and tidy in his racing lines.
Through the North Bend they go, down the hairy hill and in towards that bottom bend. In just a few moments time they will come. Kevin Hansen doing a good job there in second position as things stand. Of course, don't forget the top 3 from semi-final 2 will go through to the final here this afternoon at Lydden Hill for round 3 of Titans RX Europe. Over the line we come to start the third lap of Arsting. Topi Heikkinen leading the way by a commanding advantage, 3.9 seconds. He was over the line ahead of Kevin Hansen. Andreas Stefan there in 4th position here as well, not doing too badly a time, because that's looking pretty close actually between Dan Rook and Andreas Stefan. So let's keep an eye out for track position between those two. That is for the final spot, of course, in semi-final 2, and Rook looks like he's struggling a little bit in these conditions here, Harry.
Yeah, but you can still see that nobody has made any big slides and half spins, so good racing lines. Usually, occasionally you see that your cars are sliding a bit, but nothing too much. Obviously, everybody wants to. I mean, having seen how this heats have started, to have plain sailing now till the end.
Well, over the line we go then to start the penultimate lap already here at Titans RX Europe. Of course, a reduced final distance for safety reasons, down to 5 laps here at Lydden Hill. And Topi Heikkinen doing a commanding job out in front in the lead of this race. The battle for the final podium position isn't getting too threatening at the moment there for Dan Rook. He's just keeping his nose clean, which is what he needs to do, but he looks anything but comfortable behind the wheel of his Pantera RX6 supercar. You can see him taking multiple stabs at the wheel to try and get the front turned in at the devil's elbow. But again, if he's just able to hold up that pressure for another lap from Andreas Stefan, he will be going through to the final in his first ever Titans RX Europe event. Down into the bottom bend we go then for the penultimate time of Arsting, through that right-hander and onto the gravel. Onto the final lap we come there as well. Topi Heikkinen still stretching that lead out, 6.2 seconds. He is now ahead of the rest of the field. Such treacherous conditions for these drivers to contend with, even keeping it pointing in the right direction is no mean feat at all. And these drivers doing a very, very good job as well.
You can see that still they are careful, that they're lacking confidence. When the tarmac is dry, you can attack, there are no surprises. Now suddenly you can aquaplane, you can car start sliding and it doesn't end sliding. So you can see that they are taking it easy, no risks.
Yeah, they certainly are. Well, Topi Heikkinen has been the class of the field. Through the final corner he goes, and over the timing line, Topi Heikkinen wins semi-final 2 here at Lydden Hill. Kevin Hansen finishes in second position. A great race there for the young Swedish driver, and Dan Rook will complete the final spot on the podium in third place, just ahead of Andreas Stefan. I reckon if that race had gone on for a lap longer, then Dan Rook's final spot could have been under threat from the Swiss driver.
You reckon?
I reckon so, yeah. He was pretty close.
Pretty close is still far away.
Getting close is one thing, getting past is quite another, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Well, Topi Heikkinen doing a very good job there out in front in that race, showing exactly why he is so highly rated within the Rallycross and indeed the motorsport community in general, really. You can see Jerome Grosjean, who was left at the light at semi-final 2. We'll get some highlights for you now and run you through everything that happened during that frantic semi-final 2. So away from the lights, of course, we saw Jerome Grosjean, who was left at the light, left at the starting grid. Sadly, that put pay to his weekend, and he will not go through to the grand final. Kevin Hansen, meanwhile, held on to second position from the start, and that is exactly where he finished on the road as well. It was Topi Heikkinen who was the class of the field in every way, shape and form, as Dan Rook held on to third position in that race, coming under ever-increasing pressure, especially in the latter stages from the driver, of course, of Andreas Steffen in the number 55. What do we reckon for this one, Harry? Who is your money on going into this? We've got a mixture of drivers. We've got Timmy Hansen there. We've got, of course, Topi Heikkinen, who took victory. We've got lots of different talents up and down the field from various different forms. We've got the likes of Tamara Molinaro. We've got a transit van on the grid as well. That could be a good shout, to be fair. Well, the drivers making their way then onto the grid. I mean, who would you put your money on? What would you be thinking going into this race?
Well, I would normally I like taking risks but now I put half of my money on Heikkinen and half of my money on Hansen. It is true that I would win, I would gain less, but you know, there's a less risk, so either of them.
Well, I've just had confirmation in my ear that the final has been reduced to 5 laps on safety grounds because, of course, of the weather conditions. The right call there, I believe, from the stewards. So then, the drivers making their way to the grid. And this is how they will line up on it then. It's Topi Heikkinen who is on pole position. Alongside him, the victor, of course, from semi-final 1 of Timmy Hansen. Then it is Kevin Hansen and Ollie Webb on row 2. Tamara Molinaro and Dan Rook on the 3rd and final row of the grid. Ladies Rally champion, of course, he's just lined up alongside Dan Rook. Those two have had a bit of history on track today there as well, so hopefully there won't be any history repeating itself as the marshals just clear themselves from the grid and we get ready for this 5-lap final for Titans RX Europe to get underway.
Oh dear, I'm holding my breath.
So then, getting ready for those revs to rise here. Titans RX Europe final for round 3 of the series at Lydden Hill is underway. Great start from Topi Heikkinen. Great start also from Kevin Hansen on the inside. Timmy Hansen cuts off the nose. And look at Ollie Webb trying to go the long way round, trying to go all the way around the outside. It's the British driver. Surely he's not going to do that. Surely he's not. But he's so trying to. But he just has to lose out to Timmy Hansen and then loses out to Kevin as well. Brilliant start though from Ollie Webb. But Topi Heikkinen leads the way, going into the devil's elbow for the first time of asking. What a brilliant start.
It very rarely works outside. I mean, it looked brave and courageous, but didn't pay off.
Ollie Webb looking very, very menacing. We saw how good he was in semi-final 1 in the wet, and he is proving to have a lot of confidence behind the wheel of his Pantera RX6 supercar in these weather conditions. So through the bottom bend we go for the first time of asking. Timmy Hansen there in second place, just behind him his brother Kevin, and then it's Ollie Webb, who could potentially be on for a podium here if he keeps up this pace.
Absolutely, nothing can stop him. Yes, that's possible, totally. But Topi Heikkinen is actually very confident today, very confident all the way, and he got his starts right, and that's what matters. And once you get the start right, I mean, half of the job is done.
Yeah, no immediate pressure for Topi Heikkinen. Immediate pressure, though, for Kevin Hansen in the form of Ollie Webb, who's very close behind. Let's not forget, of course, Ollie Webb, if you don't know, races in the World Endurance Championship. He hadn't set foot in a Rallycross car before this morning. And that is a very, very impressive performance from Ollie Webb, regardless of what happens, to be doing the things he is out there on track and putting pressure on a man who is so experienced in Rallycross in the form of Kevin Hansen.
Very true, very true. No, he's very quickly learned the name of the game and you know, proven many people wrong. Very good indeed.
Well, meanwhile, Topi Heikkinen still leads the way. I tell you what, the advantage of being out in front at the moment is that he's got a nice clear windscreen in front of him, which will be quite useful in these conditions.
Yeah, that helps. You get it when you win the start.
You certainly do. Well, down in towards the North Bend we go, through Hairy Hill, and down Hairy Hill we will come after this. Very impressive stuff from all of these drivers. Timmy Hansen there in second position, Kevin Hansen in third place. Ollie Webb doesn't look like he's got anything to mount a charge as things stand. Meanwhile, Tamara Molinaro there just at the back of the grid with Dan Rook in fifth position. Over the chicane we go, which is where we saw spectacular acrobatics from Julian Godfrey a few moments ago in the support class final. No such drama so far for these Titans RX drivers, and Ollie Webb is so good in that first corner. He's got great speed.
Yeah, he is, but still Kevin Hansen doesn't make mistakes, doesn't leave a door open, so he sticks to his good racing line, so it's very, very difficult to get past.
Well, Topi Heikkinen there, you can see the gaffer taped up windscreen as he goes through that north bend, and you can see as well Timmy Hansen looks like he's struggling a little bit in these conditions, coming under pressure from brother Kevin and also Ollie Webb. This is a nearly three-way scrap for position as we come on to the final lap. Well, I don't know if they're going to have any time to try and do anything here as Topi Heikkinen comes over the line to start his final lap here, Harry, but it is going to be exciting to see if they can.
Exactly. Look at that. Topi is very confident today. Clean run, good start. Now he wants to. What went wrong in France? He wants to make up now.
Yeah, certainly does. Look at Ollie Webb, who's all over the back of Kevin Hansen like a bad rash. Is Webb going to try and send it down the inside and get himself onto that final spot on the podium? He's only got a couple of opportunities left to try and do so as they come up Hairy Hill for the final time of asking in towards the north bend. Hansen defends his line absolutely perfectly, exactly what the young Swede needs to do. Unless Webb can invent something into that final corner, surely it is going to be Kevin's podium. But over the line will come Topi Heikkinen, an absolutely brilliant victory, and it is the first ever double winner in Titans RX Europe. Topi Heikkinen takes victory in round 3 here at Lydden Hill. Second place for Timmy Hansen, third for Kevin Hansen over the line, and Ollie Webb, he tried as hard as he could, but he didn't quite have it to take the fight to Kevin Hansen. And let's have a look, shall we, at the final race results here at Titans RX Europe for round 3 at Lydden Hill, and here is how they finish on the road then. So Topi Heikkinen takes victory in the final. Timmy Hansen and Kevin Hansen complete the podium. Ollie Webb, what a performance from Ollie Webb and Dan Brook and Tamara Molinaro. I take my hat off to every single one of them.
The winner of round 3 of the Titans RX, it's Topi Heikkinen. Well done, Topi!
So, final results of round 3 for Titans RX Europe. You can see, of course, that Topi Heikkinen takes victory ahead of Timmy Hansen and Kevin Hansen. That is your top 3, but here are your round 3 results then. Topi Heikkinen, Timmy Hansen, Kevin Hansen, Ollie Webb, Dan Brook and Tamara Molinaro were in the final. Then is Ronnie Searog, Andreas Steffen, Nelson Piquet Jr., Jerome Grosjean, Shushu, Abby Eaton, Andrew Jordan, of course, they're in 13th position with those technical dramas that he had. Ronnie Sample in 14th, and then Perry McCarthy in 15th position. He'll be hoping for a much better Sunday here at Lydden Hill.